Welcome back to The Remote Life. My name is Han Talbot, also known as Han Meets World, and today we'll be chatting with Alessia and Toti. Originally from Italy and now UK-based, Alessia and Toti are the slowmads behind passportandstamps.com, a travel platform built around authentic experiences spanning 5 years and 45-plus countries. In this episode, we dive into building sustainable content businesses, why they choose experiences over destinations, and the importance of maintaining authenticity in an oversaturated industry. Let's grab a coffee, a tea, or something stronger, and let's get started.
Welcome back to the Remote Life podcast. Alessia and Toti, how are you today?
Good.
Feeling
How are
good.
you? Still enjoying a bit of Thailand. Sunny, a little bit windy, but we're doing good.
It's a very good day. The wet season is over. The dry season is up, and it's very hot and humid.
So, you guys have been there, 2 months?
Yeah.
Right?
2 months just
in
in
Bangkok.
Thailand for the first time, still in one place for a little bit longer than usual.
Love that. Amazing. Oh my gosh, it feels like literally yesterday we were in Bangkok having adventures and doing random things and eating such good food.
Right?
Oh, the pad thai. I miss the pad thai. Oh.
Yeah.
I know.
2 months fly over.
Yeah,
and
we
there's
were actually thinking about actually I could stay an extra month here.
Yeah.
And we were looking into the digital nomad visa that our friend Dave just applied and got approved. So we're like, oh, okay, interesting. So maybe for next time when we're coming back.
It's like even Thailand has been the only place where we spend most of the time. And technically, the only place where we spend 2 months in together
consecutively. Yeah.
And the other one is Chiang Mai or Bali or Da Nang. Those are the 4 locations: Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Da Nang, and Bali, where we spend like more than 1 month consecutively. And honestly, if I tell you that Bangkok, at first time that we came to Bangkok,
we hated it.
We don't want to come here anymore. And now we are 2 months in.
Yeah, it was a little bit too overwhelming. I mean, I think it was after a long flight, and then just arrived in Asia. Bangkok was a little bit too much. It was too hot, not used to the humid. So, but now, we ended up loving it. And actually, we understand why our friends love living here. So
yes.
And did you guys make it to the Extraordinary Travel Festival as well?
We didn't make it to the conference
itself, but to the side events.
To the side events, yes, because we were a part of the Travel Massive when we were back in London, and a pop-up notification came up, and we're like, oh, actually, we are in Bangkok, so we could attend, and so we went to just to the side events, and it was actually really nice. There were so many people,
different people compared to our
usual
London
community. Yeah, that's true. But it was really nice to meet and get to know different people from all over the world, and meeting actually people that have been traveled to all the countries.
Yes.
So
I met a very inspiring woman, because before the Extraordinary Festival, I was invited to a kind of press trip in an area of Thailand that I never thought about. We have been there previously in the area of Hua Hin, but like 20 minutes before Hua Hin, there is Phetchaburi, which is one of the places where most of the cultivation are going and the salt farms are located. It's a very traditional area, and I never thought that could be so beautiful. I mean, Thailand for us is always full of surprise, but what I've seen in the couple of days was amazing. And I met this lovely woman that she was about 80 years old, and she has been traveling for all over the world, all the countries, 194 countries, counting in Serbia a couple of months ago. And she's such an inspirational. There was one night where we were completely destroyed, and when is the last bus? And she went, oh, can we take a Grab and going back home? I wanna still partying. And I was destroyed.
Yeah, and I was watching the stories, and I was like, man, I just turned 28 and I feel like 80, but she's like 28.
And she's more a digital nomad than I am. She's more lively than I am. It's like such an inspirational woman.
I absolutely love that. Yeah, I'm in Siargao at the moment for people listening in, and we happened to meet up with someone who was also at the festival too. And again, his stories were just insane. If anyone's heard about the Sultan of Slow Jamistan,
yes,
we had dinner with him here in Siargao, but he was also Oh my gosh, so many amazing stories. I would absolutely love to have him on the podcast
Do you know there is
just
a
because,
things
like, the
about
stories. Yeah, like,
there is a thing about the Sultan that you cannot get inside his country with Crocs.
yes, yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
funny story.
And like you can speed if it's for tacos and stuff like that. Like how funny is that? Oh, and then we've all been given like 5 doubles so we can like get our first drink. What a random thing to do. Yeah, it sounded like it when the event itself was absolutely incredible and just brought together some people with amazing stories. So
The
it sounds like you guys
most
had a really
strangest
good time.
stories we have had in our life, I guess, is in the past 2 years and a half traveling all around the world.
Yeah.
It's like meeting so random
Yeah.
people from diverse backgrounds, doing such different things in life, and going through different things as well.
It's nice to learn from different people actually, and even to, you know, elder people
as well.
So-
Families traveling like us,
Yeah.
we find it very hard, but then we find families and we say,
Okay, that's something.
Well, speaking of obviously the travels, let's take a step back a second. Why don't you just go ahead and tell us about you guys, your story, and your remote life journey so far?
Wow. Story and journey has been very long and is back to, I would say, about over 10 years ago when we moved from our original country to the UK for different reasons. She was just getting out from school.
Yeah, I just got graduation. I was like, bye.
Yeah, and I want to move my marketing agency that I had in Italy to a wider market in the UK, learning everything from the scratch, even English, to be honest. And fast forward, I would say 2 years and a half ago, we had this idea. I turned 35, and I decided that was the last time that I could get one of the most interesting adventures of our life. Getting just with a backpack to Southeast Asia as many people before us and having our own adventure. Getting along with some experiences like going on a Mekong River on a very slow boat, public boats for 2 days in a row, to hiking some of the most beautiful peaks with the landscape in Laos, in Vietnam was incredible. Going on one of the most beautiful places so far, which is Sabah, for the views, for the rhythm of life, and living the digital nomad journey the best as we can, building up our business much better than we were, because originally we were not yet neither passport and stamps. I think the figures of passport and stamps grows with us and reveal the real us to everybody, because before we were just like playing around, we say. Making our journey a little bit less comfortable was the best choice of our life. Getting out again from
the comfort zone and going out there and trying something that we never done before. And actually, maybe stay tuned because there is something more going on when we're back in the UK.
Yes.
That's a secret.
We have one thing that we have learned so far is that every time that we get comfortable in something,
we need to change.
Like
straight away.
It seems a strange habit to think about, but the thing is, we love to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There is a collective of YouTubers that I love, which their motto is seek discomfort. And I would say that for me, my journey is literally seek discomfort all time. Because if we seek discomfort, we find another comfort zone, because we need to play with our fear, with our limits, with understanding where we can push up as much as possible and when we need to pull the brake and say, okay, this is my limits, let's do something else, or let's keep going.
Yeah, so it was actually pretty good to start this entire journey almost 2 years and a half ago and never look back, to be honest.
Yeah, there has been a lot of times where we were tired or things were not going as planned.
Yeah. And of course, in all businesses, there are ups and downs and on all things that are happening, even with Google. So it was tough, but I think having each other kind of helped because we could support and motivate this entire journey, because otherwise everything would just go to waste. And I think it was the best decision, to be
Absolutely.
honest. Yes. So, that's...
Never regret it, to be honest. You can always go back, but you can never replace the time that you lose thinking if you made it, what would have come.
Yeah, true. Absolutely true. Yeah.
That's amazing. And obviously, speaking of just getting it done and going and doing it. What for you guys, I guess, was the motivation for taking passport and stamps full time? What was the thought process, or what was the real drive, or was there, other than just to do it, you know?
It kind of like we had the switch about 5 years ago when we were like, okay, we want to take this journey full time and see what happens. And we moved to Spain. We moved to Malaga for a while. It was for 6 months. We enjoyed Malaga. It was amazing. It was beautiful. There were a few conferences going on in Italy and Trentino. So we kind of moved around. We had a trip to Sri Lanka, and we had even a paid campaign in the same year. And we understood that
there was potential.
There was a potential that this could be our full-time job. And then when we rebranded and we did passport and stamps, we had even a strong feeling that this could go
even further,
and not just focusing on the blogging side, because there are many aspects of it. It's not just blogging, but it's just diversifying even the income stream. So that we understood.
Yeah, and the other things is even because the fact that we want to travel, we want to experience in first person, and sometimes we talk about the gaps that there is between clear information, and I want to highlight this word, clear information, and misunderstanding on traveling. Most of the time, your journey is disrupted because there is a big gap between what is common knowledge and what is just what you think about a thing. So Passport and Stamps has grown with us. So the business has grown as far as our curiosity was growing. Like, I want to discover this place. How we do that? And then let's find out and let's go there in first person and let's experience it. Let's see if there is other side ways to do exactly the same things. If there is a way to do it cheaper for making more people aware of which one were the steps and things. So I would say our journey full time is not a proper conventional journey, because as far as we have always thought about having an income that allows us to travel, the first thing is always about travel. It's like, I want to travel, I need money, and then in consequence, Passport and Stamps has grown. The thing is, Passport and Stamps is growing and has been growing since day one out of our hands. We don't do that with I need to write that articles because that gets me traffic or gets me money or gets me something. We create a lot of guides that will direct the user to do exactly the same journey as we did. Maybe the way that we did with some alternatives. So the growing is within our experience. More we experience, more the Passport and Stamps experience as well, and we grow together. It's like a third child.
I love that. Why was it you took content creation full time in general? I feel like it's quite a thing now. People kind of like the idea of it, but it's one thing to say that you want to take content creation full time, but to do it is a whole other. Like, what was it for you guys that was a motivator to take that full time as well?
You need to love it. That's the first thing that I'm always saying. You need to love what you do. Otherwise, you end up just going in a burnout and not going out anymore. Because there are ups and downs. There are moments when you are publishing an article or even you are creating a video, it won't perform. It's all about, but I do it because I love it. And the same thing is that you are showcasing a different side of content creation, because it's not just beautiful pictures or beautiful video of amazing drone shots. It's even the unfiltered life, unfiltered content creation. What I'm actually seeing lately is that I prefer more to watch, how to get from Thailand to Singapore by land and all the misadventure that happen in between. So I'd rather see these funny things. I stopped over in Surat Thani because there were no train. It was a public holiday in Italian. So it actually gets me even more excited, instead of seeing just that everything goes perfect and all the trains on time, which never happens in Asia, but anyway, or like the fact that we ended up on a highway in Vietnam because our sleeper bus didn't show up. So all these kind of things that now we're laughing about, in the moment, not that much, but still because we love it. So I love the fact that then I can put together a blog post or a video saying, oh, this is how we ended up in a police station in Chiang Mai. This is what happened. So
even the motivation for us to do that, it comes even if you think about how we split up the tasks without any misunderstanding in between. She loves to the social media, the process, and creating content, and
the editing
part of the things. Like if you think that's originally I was editing the pictures, now there is no one photo that is edited by me. Totally.
I don't like his editing
everywhere. She doesn't like my editing, so it was like for me a very good way to step down and get away from that. So, and I didn't like to edit a bunch of photos. I was getting very bored about, so it was good. So in the content creation journey, you need to understand and learn where is your strength, where is your downside point, and trust the process. And that will naturally let you go on the things that you love the most to do, and maybe you are adding a value to the content creation community. It's more about that. It's like now I'm loving editing my videos on YouTube, but the journey started because we want to make because our little niece in London, it's like always on TV, watching the crazy animation things.
Cocomelon.
Yes. So our idea was like, we are out for 2 years and a half from the country. Now and then we get seen, but she's growing up and she might forget us. Things is, we were like on the journey to post one content per week because she has to be on the TV, watch out, and now she recognizes us.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like she knows our name perfectly. We are looking forward to go back to the UK because she knows us. She tell all time, Toti Ale. It's so nice, but that's content creation. You need to have a valid motivation to get on a journey and then understand if you like it or not.
And not just doing because everyone is doing it. That's what I'm seeing lately as well, is that why everyone is growing on TikTok or on Instagram or even blogging side. It's just because, everyone is doing it, so I can do it. But it's not that easy, because if you don't love what you do, if you don't have that motivation, that purpose,
you just copy and paste something and you never find your style that fits you the best, and
you end up just quitting
and gets the best of you out of it.
It's so true. I feel like anyone who thinks they can kind of copy and paste the exact same things probably ends up getting disappointed, because it is kind of like same stuff, and then they get hit with a Google update, they get hit with like an Instagram update, and then if you don't have that general love for the thing, like you said, I feel like you can't keep going because you don't have that drive. I feel like that's one big thing that people don't necessarily realise when they are creating content. But is there anything else that you think people might be surprised to know about content creation in general?
It doesn't happen overnight.
Yes. Again, trust the process.
It doesn't happen overnight. It's all like, it's easy just to, say, I just hit publish and then tomorrow I'm going to be on first page of Google or my reel is going to go viral. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't anymore. Maybe a few years ago when, all this content creation wasn't a big thing, but not anymore.
The problem is that it's easy, even for us, to say it doesn't happen overnight. You need to put passion. To be honest, today are cliche. You need to have a business mindset if you want to think that this is going to be your profession for the future. Even if it's a side hustle.
But have a business plan at least.
Business mindset about that.
Mindset and plan, yeah.
Doing it just like it's something that, I will post it because it's something that is going on or is viral and thing. Yeah, you can be lucky, but how much is the percentage of people that got lucky overnight compared to the people that trust the process and go step by step to the journey? I never tell to anybody that is starting this journey to quit their job and go full time. That's one of the most terrible mistakes that somebody will do before having an idea. It grew with us. Before we cancel all our clients that we had in London, or jobs that we were doing freelancing in London, it was a huge wandering around what if, and a lot of thought about how it was going. And to be honest, our business at the time wasn't structured as it is today.
No, yeah, true.
And the way that even we write, we create completely our products. It's totally next level now, if I look back. And it's exactly the same for somebody that is starting today. It doesn't change the rules 5 years to now.
But just have like that business mindset and a business plan. Maybe.
And at least a professional attitude to what you want to do.
Yeah. Because sometimes they just take content creation more as a hobby, yes, a job, but not on the business level. You can do so many things. Content creation is not just Instagram, TikTok. You can be a UGC creator, just working with brands. You don't need to be big on any social media. You can work with brands even if you're small, but if you have the potential, this is the kind of a business mindset that people should have.
Yeah.
Because there is
and that's the thing, always be professional. Go a conference, be professional. Reply to an email, be professional.
Yeah.
Show your face online, be professional. In any way, if you want to get it out of the water or be just a side hustle.
Yeah.
It don't go anywhere otherwise.
100%. Going from the sort of bigger picture thinking and strategic mindset, on the day-to-day, how do you guys keep the business organized? What do you use? Any tools? What do you guys use?
Notion. All our life, Notion. Always. Yeah. Yes, and we started to use Notion about 7 years ago.
No, I would say 4 or 5 years ago. Notion was nothing like today.
Yeah, that's true, because we were working for a service office company back in London, and we had to kind of manage our time because we were working in 2 different places. So that was our one place where everything was on and we both could access. So we have everything organized on Notion, like with business, personal, everything, invoices, budgeting, expenses,
itineraries,
SEO, social media, everything, literally everything. And lately, even Notion did the Notion calendar, which is synced with your Google Calendar as well. So we can sync everything and we know what we are doing.
Things is that we love to work sometimes separately as well. And that's creating more feelings that we are working on different tasks, we have different projects. Sometimes, of course, we have writers, we have editors, we have a bunch of VA that create some stuff. And for different projects that we manage, it would be like a different team on it.
Yeah.
So to manage all of that, we tried to use one platform. We have used tons of platforms in the past, like a Trello, what was others? Airtables. I even create another website with just internal use, with a bunch of stuff on it, a lot of links that were taking it to different platforms. Then when Notion came out and was nothing like today, was a note app where you can include links and things, going to the drive, going to the clouds, going to a specific folder, Google Calendar, was easy peasy like that. And then now grows to a completely ecosystem that lives on its own and move around our work life.
Yeah, and actually we are waiting for them to integrate email.
Yeah.
That would be, we are literally waiting for it, because
our Gmail account is a mess.
It's a mess, yes. So, and sometimes it's difficult because we access the email on our phone as well. Sometimes I read them and I forgot to put unread to then reply, then he does the same. Yeah. And emails go missing and we miss opportunities.
Yeah, basically we create our ecosystem, and the things about Notion that we love and why we suggest all the time is the fact that you can personalize as first things, as you grow, you can personalize everything. Second, you can organize the way that you want, and you can keep track of everything. Like I do keyword research over there, and it's all in one place. I do the YouTube planning plus scripting plus just idea dumping over there. We go into conferences and in live. If she's in a session and I'm in another one, we take notes and we can have a look at the notes of the other person, put pictures on it, even videos, audio, is everything like that. And in distance of like 4 or 5 years, you can go back and check it out, that notes, if it's applicable for that. Sometimes we went to sessions and we didn't understand. After a couple of years, we went back and,
now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense. These kind of things help you because you have access to a completely library about your business in total way. Plus, you have got forms, so you can submit forms to your newsletter subscriber and get the info directly inside the system, analyze it automatically. I wrote a bunch of scripts which analyze a lot of stuff, like the best keywords to write or the best itinerary for time-consuming things and this kind of stuff.
Yeah, social media. I love how I plan my own social media.
Yeah.
So I've got a idea in progress, and then every time I'm out and an idea comes up, I'm going straight there and I put all the idea that comes up. And it's so easy, accessible, because you can use it on your phone and on your laptop, and it's amazing.
I don't know you, but sometimes we have got thousands of spreadsheets all around the place, and you forgot even the name that you named that spreadsheet. You want to go and find out after a couple of months.
In this way, we linked everything together with Notion. So we have all our expenses report for all our travels. So when we are planning the itinerary that we put on Notion, we're okay, Thailand, here is the expenses report, and it does automatically the link to our spreadsheet, which is so much easier.
And this is great, the spreadsheet and the linking that we can do in 3 seconds. First of all, we can help. When we met other creators, we can help them understanding what we were doing. Even we put names of places where we eat, got a drink and stuff, so we can give a suggestion. Second thing is when we create content, when she does the budgeting guides on Instagram, is completely accurate because we have every single expenses and the place that we paid for it. And I do exactly the same as blog posts, very accurate on and the expenses for a travel couple.
I swear we are not getting paid from Notion to promote Notion.
Totally not. And actually, we are not neither paying for a premium subscription.
No, we just have
free
the
free plan. Works.
The only thing that I'm using extra with Notion is the Airtable just for our contact list for when we're doing the pitching for campaigns. So I have just that separate to Notion because I still haven't found the right template that I like. So at the moment I'm using Airtable, which is okay because I did the automation that, for example, if I need to follow up with a PR or with a tourist board, it automatically goes on my Google Calendar, which the Google Calendar is connected to our Notion, so it's all linked together.
Notion has been a massive game changer, honestly. You don't even need to have the app necessarily. Do you guys feel like you have a routine as well, in general? Or for me, I'd say that I have non-negotiables. I don't necessarily have a routine, especially being on the move so much.
We try to
get routine. It's hard.
It's really hard.
We are the unconventional digital nomads.
When we are staying longer in places, we are trying to have a proper routine and kind of have in a week we do 4 days of work, 3 days of exploring, or vice versa. It depends on what we want to do and what we want to see, and commitments as well. But at least we are trying in the morning. The first thing that we do, so what are the focus tasks that we need to do for this day or this week, especially now that it was coming Black Friday, and a few things that we need to do before. There were some priorities, and especially now we're leaving Thailand, so there are a bunch of things that we need to do before leaving. So we try to have a small meeting in the morning before starting to work and say, this needs to be done. This is a huge priority. We need to pitch this idea for next campaign. This is, I think, the major thing that we do every day.
We try to establish a routine every now and then when we mostly are more than 1 week in a place, because if you are staying 1 week in a place, it's very hard to get on with the routine.
To adjust, it's really hard.
We find that us completely work-wise and of course our personal life, we need at least 2 weeks in a place to adjust to a proper routine. If we do less than that, it's quite impossible that we have set amount of time, so we don't give strength attached to whatever is the time that we work. It can happen that we work in the morning, in the afternoon, not working at all, or work in the night like I do. I love it. But it's more about the amount of time that we spend in a place that determine the time that we spend on working, exploring, and on single tasks.
Yeah, give us the routine.
I tried, now that we stayed longer, I tried to have a week that was set for the single project to have enough time for each one. Like we do passport and stamps, we have other 2 websites, and then we do YouTube. I want the time to have all of them set and running for each of the tasks that I had for the week.
Yeah.
It has been very hard to comply with that. It wasn't like that because, of course, it comes stuff in the middle. You need to adjust. You need to
friends coming over. So
a lot of friends coming over.
Up the routine. Just saying, I don't know. There were a few girls coming here. They wanted to party in Cousin Road. So
who are they?
I don't know.
You don't know anything,
yeah.
right?
No, I think we are pretty good because it comes with the time. So as soon as 2 weeks have passed, our body automatically goes into a routine with okay, I need to work. We don't wake up very, very early. Like there are people waking up at 6:30. I don't know how they do it. We take it our time, but not later than 9. And then work-wise,
she is this routine very relaxed.
Yeah.
I'm always the first one that is awake, and more often I wake up like at 7 a.m. in the morning. The routine that I have is like, I don't open the laptop before I have my breakfast. It's just a compromise, not with work. It's a compromise with myself. Because one thing is in the life of a freelancer, digital nomads, or content creator is that you are always on your phone, on your laptop, and you ditch relation like friends, relation with your partner, and with yourself. So my thing is like getting a coffee, getting a nice breakfast, well prepared. Maybe I'm on my phone, but I do stupid stuff.
Yeah, having your
but never time. Open the laptop before I finish my breakfast.
Yeah. And before talking with me and say, oh, what I need to do today. Yeah, there are some times where I send him like a screenshot. Oh, this needs to be fixed. Oh, this. Oh, the links here.
I have my WhatsApp full of fix this, fix this, fix this.
Actually, this morning I realized something because I sent him last night a screenshot. Oh, this needs to be fixed. This page is not good. This needs to be done. And so I told him this morning, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
I know that she's good at follow up because every time she come back and did you fix it?
If anything, she's consistent. She's consistent. Like, what can you say? You guys are managing the destinations and whatnot as well. Like, how do you think about your destinations? What's the thought process?
I don't think about the destination. This is the things. I never think about the destination. Yes, overall, you think about the experience. It's about the experience itself.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to do this in. The destination is always secondary.
Yeah.
It's more like we went to China recently, and the experience was she wanted to go to the Wall of China.
Yeah.
For me, it was doing a trip into Beijing and Xi'an. I went and just want to experience what was looking like the difference in between the 2 ancient cities in China. Another good example about experience is the latest crazy idea that I had, and she followed up.
Which one of them?
Going from Singapore to Bangkok only by land. And if on paper was very easy and sounds it
wasn't.
In practicality we took like over a week. There were a lot of things in the middle. First of all, we want to experience a little bit of Malaysia that we didn't do previously.
We wanted to stay a bit longer in Malaysia and discover a few other places where we haven't been.
We want to experience the culinary famous Penang and Georgetown.
Yeah.
And then taking a train that goes overnight from the border with Malaysia to Bangkok.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was an interesting journey.
Yeah. They say that there was a festivity, there was a
public holiday, there were no trains. So we ended up basically having a third class seat, a standing ticket. Standing only from the border until Surat Thani, because there was a standing only from the border until Bangkok, but it was 13 hours. And I'm like, I'm going to die like this. Yeah. So we took this one. It was just 6 hours. But the good thing is that in Thailand, everyone is lovely. Locals are just amazing. So they kind of squeeze in and they allow us to sit. And we were the only foreign on that
Yeah.
train. People were talking to us and we were trying to, communicate in a way.
Google Translate.
Google Translate, because
They were offering food.
They were offering food, some fruit. So that was part of the journey. So of course we didn't plan it because we were hoping for a train, for the overnight train, but didn't happen. But that was part of the journey. So when we think about the destination, as you said, we think about the experience. Things could go wrong, and this is all the experience that ended up having, and it was one of the best. Like, yes, it was tiring because it was a lot, and when we arrived in Bangkok we just went to sleep and woke up the following day, but it was the kind of experience, that destination that now I can talk about with our friends. And
another thing is that the more we understand that the experience is more important than the destination, since we have start to enjoy our journey even on YouTube.
Yeah,
because we start to film all these moments, and there are some funny parts. When we go and watch it again, we say, "What the hell?"
Even like now, I'm about to publish a video on Instagram about how to get from Hanoi to Sapa, and it was good because we ended up having like a VIP treatment. I don't know, they complimentary upgrade. We're happy with it. So, and it was funny because I went back and I saw the videos when we were on a highway in Hanoi when we were trying to reach Da Nang. So I did put that in the videos, like, oh, this is not happening this time, but that was part of the journey.
Yes. So you have nice stories if you don't pick the destination itself as a destination, but you pick the experience that you want to have in some destinations. Even at Sapa, I think that I love Sapa, the journey that we had, and I found the perfect balance even as a digital nomad there.
True.
Just because we pick not the destination as Sapa, but the experience that Sapa can give you. The greenery, the very nice treks, the mountain, the temperature that is completely different from Hanoi, the people, the food that is there. It's another experience compared to Vietnam. And I could write a very good post about north and south of Vietnam because of this kind of experience, because we went truly into the authenticity of a place instead of popular spots, and that's it.
So we'll stay tuned for that article.
It's already on.
It's already live. But actually, one that you could write is about how crazy we are, because we rented a scooter in Hanoi and drove 5 hours to Halong Bay. Like, why? I'm still trying to figure out why.
And the best thing is that even that is recorded on video.
That was, I think, so far the funniest journey we've done, because funny thing is that when we were checking the Google map, it was saying it was about 2 hours, which is about right. But in Vietnam, the express highway, they don't allow scooters. So we had to go on the side streets. And oh my God, it was a nightmare because the big trucks were on this express highway, and at some point they were like kind of trying to wave at us like, "Hi, why you're doing this?" So we stopped by in the middle of nowhere just to have a coffee, to stretch our legs, and people were looking at us like, "What? Who are you? What are you doing here? How come you here?" But it was nice. It was part of the experience, and I think it was one of the most memorable and funny ones. Stupid, but it was fun.
But I think like those are the authentic travel stories that we're all kind of craving now, right? I mean, I feel like I'm more confident in someone who has been there and done that and can show those kind of sides of the stories, and that I find so much more authoritative in a way, because you guys have been there and done it. You made a mistake and you shared, but it was a really great experience. So it kind of goes back to the like, you've got to do it because you love it vibe, right? Versus doing it because you might rank well on Google,
just doing
right?
it for, maybe people will say, "Oh, you did it for the content."
No, because we are stupid. Literally, sometimes.
Literally, no, because when we need to think about what to do, like if to take a transport or rent a scooter, we say, okay, budget-wise, how much is gonna cost us? So at the end of the day, it was pretty much the same price.
So we
were like, oh, okay, so we can do it. Like,
we can stop along the way. We can see random places.
Yeah, we can, and we actually put on the map all the recharging points. So, like, I don't know, KFC. No, there was no Burger King. KFC, like coffee shops, anything that we could say, oh, okay, let's stop for half an hour, just to breathe. So it was not for the content. It was just because we were two stupid people that didn't think about that the express highway was for cars. So.
On that journey, I bought my underwear in a random grocery shop.
Oh, yeah.
People were looking, you came all the way here with a
just
big backpack at your bag for the underwear? What the hell?
But it was nice because then we ended up talking with the security guy of this shopping mall. And I was like, oh, where are you from? You're from Germany. And he actually told us, Guten Tag, when we arrived.
Like he was...
and then I told her, he just spoke with us, but it wasn't in English. I don't know. And he was like, no, maybe you just tired. But then when we left, he actually was like, oh, you're from... I was like, we're not from Germany. But I was like, okay. So we ended up talking with him. I was like, yeah, we are just crazy. We rented the scooter. Yeah,
and that driving in Vietnam is totally another story. Honestly, if it's the first place that you rent a scooter in a foreign country, don't do it in Vietnam.
No.
I drove everywhere in the world, and Vietnam has been so far the most scary journey of my life. There were a couple of incidents on our way.
Yeah.
And on the way back as well.
It was
and I felt so lucky that now I can tell my story with a smile because Vietnam is crazy.
It was mainly around Hanoi. And once we were out from the city, it was fine.
The amount of trucks, the amount of trucks that are on the roads and
speeding
stuff at you at the back, and you are on the scooter more than one time. We took a lot of time because we had to stop by.
We had to stop, yeah.
Again, this is the experience.
This is because
that we can
love it.
How did you experience a long bay? Oh, funny story short.
But again, I feel like these are the moments that make up the people that are more authoritative in the space. I feel like for content versus the copy and paste stuff. That sounds insane, but equally, like, what a story. That's so incredible. And that's why we all love travel. That's why we all do this. I feel like this is something that kind of comes up for a lot of us anyway. Obviously, we met kind of from the UK industry and whatnot, but I think now there are a lot more people who are creating content full time and are doing sort of more influencer marketing, ads, UGC, all the rest of it. One thing I'd be curious to know, because I get asked this on campaigns as well, is how do you guys know how to mark your ads? Like, how do you know which rules to follow? Because I'm not quite sure we have one answer yet, right? Other than to disclose.
Yeah, I mean... of course, the first thing is to follow the country rules. So, as the business is based in the UK, so we are following UK rules. And as per the UK law, you need to declare everything, even if it's a gift. So, if anyone gives us any, complimentary stay or...
We don't accept that much of this.
Yeah, exactly. Complimentary stay or, a free personal gift, we are always disclosing it, always. Because even for whoever is looking at the article or the content that we create, I think it's fair for them to know that the content has been sponsored or has been gifted, because there is a really thin line between giving your experience and your opinion and sharing. If you've been in a place and you didn't like it, then say, oh, actually, you should go there because it's beautiful, just because it's a sponsored or a gifted stay. In that case, I wouldn't do that, because we share all our experience and everything as a first-hand experience, okay? So if I have to lie just because it's a sponsored post, I'm not going to do that. So I'm always going to try to reach out to the brand, sharing my experience and say, oh, listen, this didn't work, I'm afraid I can't go ahead. And I think it's fair for everyone. I don't see why you shouldn't disclose it. If it's a gifted, if it's an ad, or if it's a PR event or something, we always disclose.
I would give to Alessia words a little bit more context, which is needed. To be honest, content creation is very tough because It's not every month that you've got a sponsored post or you sponsor a campaign and you need to feed the bills in some ways. So we are always tempted to accept whatever comes along the way.
Yeah.
And the thin line between accepting without thinking, it's one thing. But if you think that you have a business and you want to go on the long run with the business, you need to think always twice of your decision, because you are not working for somebody else. And at the end of the day, they give you a paycheck. You need to have a paycheck at the end of the day, and at the month, end of the year, and the year after, hopefully. So you need to feed the bills all the time. Accepting a sponsored post without giving your judgment on it, if it's right or bad, is bad for a business. There is no business that will take lightly decisions. So it's more than one time that we had to go back and forth with the clients on particular products that were not fitting well, and sometimes we were not watched in the right way by some people. When we were saying our way, you cannot have always on your way. Like recently, a lot of eSIM reached us. 90% of them were like, "Oh, just place a link. We will give you 10% on the commission for the affiliates." If you go on our website, we have very limited eSIM.
Maybe two.
I would guess. One is on standby, and it's because we tried that one. There was one eSIM, I will not disclose it, that reached us and offer for China. Didn't work. So we had to buy our eSIM. And there was just like, we will try and let's see if it works. So the thing is, we didn't work with them because it wasn't working. And the thing is that why I don't sponsor that post, that eSIM in this case, just because they offer me some money to buy in, plus a good revenue. That's not the way that does. Plus, all our blog posts where is included some affiliate links. 90% of the times that we disclose some like tour guides or things, it's most likely that we went on a tour, or that's the best fit for what we have done on our own, and you can do by a tour. That's the thing. It's never that I randomly put like a tour like that. It's not likely. And we have selected just
maximum 3 parties.
No, it's three parties now.
3 parties, yeah.
For the tours, and one was just recently applied.
We are very selective with the companies that we're working with, just because first we try that there is a tour company that it could be, I don't know, Get Your Guide, a Cloak, or a Viator, but all of them, we try them first. Because we don't want to sponsor something that we don't believe in. So, and this comes even with the press trips and campaigns. If we see that is not a good fit for us or for the brand, we just say no. I know that you're saying no to potential money, but I'd rather say no and having the trust of our community instead of saying, oh, but you're backpacking a digital nomad, how are you going, I don't know, to the Maldives, for example. It could be that the type of campaign is different, because we did a campaign with the Visit Dubai, which was for a stopover. So,
but we paid for the flight.
We paid for the flight.
The way was that we were going to Dubai. We booked everything in Dubai and stuff. And afterwards, we tried to work out a way to make Dubai affordable and experience as much as possible of Dubai within our skills.
Yeah.
So it's like our content journey comes in the middle of, but we disclose that we were there with Visit Dubai.
Yeah.
In all the things.
And I don't see why you shouldn't. Many people, they say, oh, because they lower your reach on Instagram, for example.
I don't care. And it's not true. I think it's just to be completely transparent on the work that you do. And I don't see why you shouldn't say, oh, this is gifted. I know that at the end of the year, which is coming soon for the tax declaration. So it's just, you need to mention that. And I think it's even now that many creators, they are not accepting any more free stuff, because at the end of the day, we all need to pay the bills and then we need to declare them, because a complimentary stay could be like between 100 and 500 pounds. So at the end of the year, you need to say that.
I think for me, I always do pay attention as a British person. I follow the British rules at the end of the day. But I think the big thing it does always come back to is the fact that you have a community, as you said, that obviously trusts what you're saying, and so therefore, like, that is the biggest part of it. And I think it just comes down to that at the end of the day, right? And audiences are so much more discerning now, and like you said, you have to love it in order to be able to convey a good ad anyway, whether it's gifted or not. So that, I guess, is what it comes down to at the end of the day. Oof, so much to think about, so much to think about. Yeah, and I love that you guys mentioned that you don't care that it really impacts your reach, because I'm the same. I'd rather people knew. Anyway, on a lighter note, because that was some heavy stuff we got into. I guess my final thoughts are, obviously you guys have gone from this kind of location-dependent lifestyle to a location-independent lifestyle. Is there anything from a product perspective, from a routine perspective, that you feel like you've taken over from that lifestyle to this lifestyle?
One thing's for sure, and we spoke already about that, is organization. Is the things. If you think that you're going from a location dependent to location independent and just living by the day and having fun, whatever you want, you are wrong. There is a lot of commitment, and in between comes exploring, and there is like having your social life straight, because sometimes it gets more or more than the other, or sometimes you don't have at all. And you don't know how many times I think we travel to find the communities, and to find the right communities that fits you. It's very difficult. That's why we went touring around Bali, even Da Nang. We experienced Da Nang in like 3 days the first times, and then we returned
for 3 weeks.
This year for 3 weeks, for 3-4 weeks, kind of. We returned because we saw that there was increasing in demand for Da Nang. There was a very good community, and most of the people that were going out of the season in Bali went to Da Nang because it was cheaper, was a good opportunity, beach was good.
It was actually pretty nice.
We were traveling there for the community. We went to Bansko exactly for experiencing the community. Exactly the same is the things that when people ask why you go back to Bali so often, and first things was I hate Bali. Second thing is the only place that I can think that I live up to my social life, my work routine, and I have a bit of both worlds with no compromise. So it is one thing that we took is to try to find balance in whatever. When we were location dependent, we were a lot relying on the friends, on the events that were going on in London, and exactly the same we tried to translate in a digital nomad language.
Like going to meetups, meeting people, joining WhatsApp groups, and trying to meet other nomads. And a few weeks ago we went to a digital nomad meetup that was here in Bangkok. It was nice because we ended up meeting so many new people, and then we stayed in touch and went out for dinner. So we kind of took that we loved going out with our community and our friends back in London, and we tried to do it even when we are traveling around and trying to meet people. But it's always nice because I think especially the past year, wherever we were, there was someone from our community back in London that it was coming to visit us. So it was nice, and we were trying to coordinate. Oh, you're going to be in the Philippines. Okay, so we are moving the flights. So we were trying, following each other and
organizing trip together.
Because it's nice when you have someone, but we ended up meeting so many new people, and we're still staying in touch still now. And everyone is saying, oh, when are you coming back to Bali, to Da Nang? Or all people that we met in Bali, then we were in Da Nang, they were in Da Nang with the partner, so we ended up staying with that. So
crazy thing. But this is the thing. This is like having a good balance, work and social, plus this doesn't come if you don't have a organization totally. Things is that it's very easy to get out of your organized life with one fixed location. You know already your spaces, you know your best coffee place, you know where you go for a walk, taking the metro, going to WeWork like we were doing. Actually, I was biking in London, which is one of the things that I miss the most. But these things need to translate in other things that are like equal as you were doing before. It's like I will literally bet anything with anybody that say, oh, I will start my journey and I will be a new person. Yes, dude, say that. It will not be. You become a new person, gradually changing the habits and changing the routine. Sure. If I have to think, if there is one thing that we do exactly the same, as we were doing back in London, I would say just one thing, my coffee in the morning. There is nothing that's a change. I keep going around, even with the heavy loads backpack, with just one item, and it's always my mocha. It's like wherever I have been, I have my mocha, and I make my mocha in the morning. That's like my ritual back in the day. But
Mine
I
now
would
is
say just the
coconut
organization.
coffee.
I would say just the organizational side of the
Yeah.
business has remained whatever was it before, has
And,
been growing up and
yeah.
developing in a better way. But there is nothing that we do exactly the same way. Even our mindset has completely changed totally.
What's really funny is that having my first coffee in the morning is also something that I took over to. That life doesn't start until I have my first coffee in the morning, and I have 10 minutes to like just
having
be.
your me time with the coffee, not thinking about it, like
Yeah.
completely switching off because you're still sleepy, but you go, okay, this is my coffee, this is my time. I just want to enjoy it. And now I'm thinking my coconut coffee
Yeah.
that I miss from Vietnam. And if anyone goes to Vietnam and then comes to London, please, I want some coconut coffee.
Let me have my coffee and talk to me again in like half an hour, and my brain will actually be working, and it has got to the point now where I literally cannot function or give you anything credible until half an hour.
I bet you.
That coffee.
I bet you. That even if you are getting your coffee in the morning, you check your emails, you finish your coffee, you need to go and check it again. Because you didn't understand the first place.
Yeah, literally. Or it's just kind of one of those questions you kind of look, go, oh, no, I'll do that in a minute. It's not even like I don't understand it.
Sometimes it happens
Like,
to us.
leave that unread. Or
I'm reading the email and then I'm telling Toti, what? I didn't get it. He's like, take the coffee, then we'll talk about it later.
1,000%. Well, guys, obviously I could, as you know, keep talking to you guys for hours, but I feel like this is a really good point for us to round up the podcast. So, final question, fill in the blank, home is where?
My heart is.
Where she is.
Oh.
You guys are so stinking cute.
I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. Well, you stole where my laptop is, so now I've got on my laptop.
Where my coffee is.
Where my coffee is. No. You said where she is.
No.
So, okay. And just by the way, we are not engaged, just saying.
That's maybe something that's maybe something that is continuously from our previous life. She always have to say something about that every day.
just for jokes. It's funny.
You guys are hilarious. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And yeah, it's been, as always, great to chat.
Always loving to have a chat with you and catch up like usual.
Let's hope we can catch up in real life again soon.
Yeah, actually, we've done 2 continents this year, so next year let's aim to 3.
Let's say South America.
South America, Mexico.
Let's make a deal.
I know it's tempting.
Pinky promise.
Oh. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Remote Line, and thank you, Alessia and Toti, for taking the time to speak with us. You can find links to their profiles below. Thank you so much again for listening, and we can't wait to remote work with you again soon.